Trying to get set up here. So I'm trying to do this on Facebook, on my Facebook group, as well as the Facebook page and Instagram. So just please give me one quick second. There we go. I'll just quickly share into my group so everyone in the Facebook group can see too. All right, and here I will just quickly make a note what we're making. We're making healthy banana bread today. Hi everyone who's following. I don't know how, I wanted to pin this comment, but I don't know how to do that. Okay, never mind. Let's just get started. Sorry, that was quite the long setup. So we're making healthy banana bread. And in case you haven't seen my post yesterday in my stories on Instagram as well as Facebook, and if you haven't read my newsletter, I want to try something new this year. It's I call it the Let's Cook Together Challenge. So once a week I will pick a recipe that's just like the challenge recipe, and I hope you make it anytime that week, and I will go live also. I think it will be every Tuesday. That day usually works for me, and I cook it live with you. You can get all the recipe ingredients ready and cook simultaneously with me, or make the recipe any other time that week. And please, please, please take a photo and share it on Instagram or Facebook, and tag me at Lilalicious on it. I will pick one of the entrants to feature in my newsletter once a week. So if you want to be featured, don't forget to tag me. And one more reason to enter and participate in the challenge is I will also give away stuff. So for all the entries in January, I am going to give away an Amazon gift card. And going forward, I will try to find more awesome prizes too, like some kitchen gadgets. I really want to do maybe slow cooker or instant pot, something like that. So if you're not doing banana bread this week, I hope you will join me in some other time this week or this year in the Let's Cook Together Challenge. Okay, I have my recipe ready because I'm going live and I don't want to forget anything. So I want to share a trick with you. We need melted coconut oil for this recipe. And because my coconut oil is in a glass jar, I actually just added the whole jar to the oven as it's preheating. So it can melt as the oven is preheating and I can get ready. So when I need the melted coconut oil, it will be done. Okay, so that coconut oil is melting. In the meantime, let's do bananas. These are extremely, extremely ripe bananas. There's no brown spots, they are entirely brown. And this is the kind of banana I like to use when I'm making this banana bread or any kind of banana bread, but this one especially doesn't use any kind of other sweetener. So it's just the super ripe bananas in here. Let's see if we can open this. And yeah, if you use really ripe ones, they have so much natural sweetness. I feel like I don't need anything else. If you don't have as ripe bananas, or if you just like banana bread sweeter, you can always add some additional sweetener. I like maple syrup, coconut sugar, like some of the natural sweeteners. Okay, this is hard to open. But yeah, I'll get all the bananas into a big bowl. It's 4 bananas. So anytime you have bananas that are turning a little bit too ripe for fresh eating, you can save them for things like banana bread. And because this one needs 4, so maybe you don't have 4 bananas turning overripe at the same time, you can also peel them and add them to a freezable container or a bag and freeze them until you have 4 bananas to make this healthy banana bread. All right, now we mash it up. You can use a fork, a potato masher. I like this wire whisk. I feel like it just does a really kind of quick, even job. Just breaking everything up, especially if the bananas are super ripe already. It's quite quick. And I know that sounds a bit weird. Let me see, can you guys even see? There we go. That's what it looks like inside the bowl. Just a bit more. There we go. That's good enough, I think. See if any more big chunks. No. All right, let me show you. So that's fairly mashed up. And next we need 3 eggs. Actually, what I like to do is make a little bit of space next to the banana and add them all in there. And I need a fork. All right, I'm trying to show you. Okay, do it. That I have the eggs all here on the side, and then I'm just breaking them up a little bit separately. You see that? Yeah. Okay, and there we have some whisk eggs. Next up, I use peanut butter, just natural peanut butter. It's nothing but ground up peanuts and a little bit of salt. It's usually what's in there. And we need 1/3 cup. And if you have a peanut allergy or you're not eating peanuts or any legumes, if you're on the paleo diet, you can also use almond butter. Or if you're not having any nuts at all, a seed butter works as well. You can use tahini, which is just ground sesame seeds. With that, I recommend giving it a taste first. Some tahinis can taste have a little bit of bitterness, and you don't want that in your banana bread. So make sure you like the tahini before you use it in kind of a baking recipe. Like that you really like the flavor of it. And there's also sun butter, like sunflower seed butter. It definitely works. There's this one little problem. Sunflower seeds for some reason react with the baking powder or baking soda in a recipe. And I don't know if you've tried this before. The funny thing is, as whatever baked good you're making, cookies or banana bread, as it cools after baking, for some reason it turns like a greenish color, which can be kind of scary because it does look a little bit moldy. But it's not. It's just a funny reaction that sunflower seeds have with baking soda. So if you think the color will put you off, don't use sun butter, but it's an option. It just will look a bit strange. All right, now we're ready for the coconut oil. Let's see how it's doing in the oven. All right, beautiful. I then use a dish towel because the glass can get a bit warm, but there you go. It's melted, and I can measure out however much I need, which is a 1/4 cup for this recipe. There we go. 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil. That's how easy it was. If your coconut oil is not in a glass jar, don't add it to the oven. Don't use a plastic container. Then you'll have to measure it out, which can be a little bit tricky, especially this time of year when kitchens are cold and the coconut oil is solid. But yeah, then just scrape it out, try to measure it, and put it in a glass jar. You can still use the preheated, the oven as it's preheating, or the microwave, or on the stove, anywhere. Okay, let's see. Hi Marcia, hi Sonia. Thanks so much for joining. Yes, I will soon show the results. And from Rome, that's amazing. I'm in Mexico. I'm in San Miguel de Allende. All right, so let's whisk. These were kind of the wet ingredients, so let's whisk them all up a little bit before we add the dry ones. This is another thing I love about this recipe, particularly, is that it's a 1-bowl recipe. There's no need to combine the wet and dry ingredients separately. We'll just add all the wet ones first, and then it's quite easy to add the dry ones on top, and they will beautifully combine in there. Hi Crystal. I love that so many people are catching this live. And I hope you make this. I hope you get inspired to make banana bread. And when you do, don't forget to snap a picture and share it with me. Tag me in it. And you get a chance to be featured or win the prize of January. All right, now coconut flour. I love coconut flour. If you have been on my blog, you know that I have a coconut flour cookbook even. All right, we need 1/2 cup. And I don't know if you noticed how I'm measuring it. I'm not dipping the measuring cup into the flour. And you do that that's the same rule for any kind of flour you're using. If you dip the measuring cup into the flour, you're compressing the flour and you're using way more than you actually need. So either just like pouring it into the measuring cup or using a spoon and just filling the cup up slowly like that. This will give you way more accurate measurement. All right, that's the coconut flour. Okay, there's a question here, 1 second. Will it work with bananas that aren't as ripe as the ones I have? Yes, it will work. Like, you don't want the ones that are still green because they have very little banana flavor and very little sweetness. But yeah, just like generally ripe bananas work just as well. Just keep in mind, the riper the bananas, the sweeter they are, and the sweeter the banana bread will be, but also the stronger the banana flavor. And if you find your bananas aren't as sweet or aren't enough to sweeten the batter, you can always add a little bit of sweetener on top. And the next one is flax meal. We're using pieces of ground up flax seeds, and we need 1/4 cup of these as well. Oops. If you don't have flaxseed or can't have it, you could use almond flour, psyllium husk powder would work as well. Yeah, those are the 2 ideas that come to mind right now. And now we need some baking powder. I'm using baking powder in this recipe. If you are paleo and can't have just conventional baking powder, you can make your own. It's cream of tartar and baking soda. I think it's a 2-to-1 ratio, and that is like a homemade baking powder substitute that is paleo friendly. And cinnamon. I love the combination of banana and cinnamon. Just a teaspoon. And finally, salt. And that's it already. We already have all the ingredients for this recipe. Just half a teaspoon together. And now we just stir it all up. Actually, not quite ready. There's also the add-ins. And you can really use whatever you like. I like walnuts, pecans, and chocolate chips. I actually like both. So that's what I usually do. You want about a 2/3 cup of add-ins. You can use all nuts, you can use all chocolate chips, or if you're like me, you use half of each. So use a 1/3 cup of each of the two. Or you could add nothing. You don't need to need anything. You can have just pure banana bread if that's what you prefer or what you have. All right, let me show you this. There you go. It doesn't have to be super smooth, but there's no dry pockets of flour anymore. So that's good enough. And now we add the add-ins. So here I have pecan nuts that I already chopped. And I'm using, it's a bit more than 1/3 of a cup. I'm saving a few to add on top because I like for there to be a little bit of, and chocolate chips. I'm using mini chocolate chips. I'm gonna show you. They're like really small ones. These are Enjoy Life brand. They're like top 10, I want to say, allergy free. There's no dairy, no soy, no refined sugar in them. So yeah, a lot of people can have these. If allergies or food intolerances are an issue, this is a good brand for a baking ingredient, for chocolate and in general baking ingredients. So I'm just giving it one more quick stir to combine the nuts and chocolate chip into the batter. And there we go, that's it. The banana bread batter is whipped up. And now let's fill it into a baking pan. I'm using just a regular, I want to say this is, I think it's like a 4x8 loaf pan. And this is how I make sure I can get the banana bread out of there. I don't really use like baking sprays or spray oils, just parchment paper. So I'm using one thin strip that goes along the length and one white strip that covers the long sides. And that will be good enough to just prevent the banana bread from sticking to the pan. Just fill it all in here. There we go. And spread it out. Kind of smooth out the top just a little bit. It will spread out or like flatten out in the oven anyway. And now for the top, I'll just add the remaining pecan nuts that I had on top, and I will also put just a little bit of chocolate chips too. Alright, there we go. Let me clean this up a bit. Let me show you the banana bread. There you go. Can you see this? Yeah. So this is ready for the oven now. The oven is preheated. I'll add it in there. One thing I didn't really consider when I picked this recipe for our first Let's Cook Together challenge is that this will take 50 minutes in the oven. I'm not gonna stay on here for 50 minutes. So what I will do instead, when it's ready, I will snap a picture and share it on both Instagram and Facebook one more time so you can see the finished result. And also the recipe is on my blog. I have pictures there. I already have like a little quick 1-minute video showing also how to make it. So let me quickly put this in the oven and then I'll come back for just a couple more minutes. Alright, so let's check the time. 50 minutes from now I will check it. So yeah, this was the first Let's Cook Together challenge recipe. Thank you so much everyone who joined to catch this live, and I hope you're gonna make banana bread this week. Yeah, I should have done this. I should have made another one to show you. Actually, I have one in the freezer, but it's not thawed. So I will show you. Maybe I have to think through this a bit more for the next recipes that I'm choosing for the following weeks. How I can show you the finished results. So yeah, you can also just go to lilalicious.com. It's called coconut flour banana bread, and you will see pictures there if you want to see one right now of how it looks when it's finished. So when this is done, after 50 minutes, I leave it in the pan until it cools quite a bit. It doesn't have to be all the way cold, but when I lift it out too soon, then there's just a chance of it breaking up. So yeah, let it cool in the pan, and then you can keep it at room temperature for, I want to say 2 to 3 days. Banana bread is fairly moist, so it can spoil faster than other quick breads. In the fridge I would store it for about a week, and when I take a slice from the fridge, I like to toast them to warm them up and also just give it a really nice little like toasty crunch on the outside. And yeah, finally you can also freeze them. They freeze beautifully if you just wrap them up. I use usually parchment paper and then a freezer bag, and they can, let me say, keep for up to 3 months in the fridge beautifully. So if you make banana bread this week, don't forget to tag me. Don't forget to take a picture and share it. And I'll see you guys here next week. Bye.